I am excited, and I'm excited because you guys know I love tools, and I just got delivered probably one of the biggest tools that I've ever seen. And I'm gonna flip this around, I'll show it to you, but it's gonna help us do this build back here. Right behind me, we've got a 72 by 96 shop. And you know what, you might end up seeing this in some other content, so this might not be a surprise, but if you haven't already, we're getting delivered a Magni rotating telehandler, or think telehandler and crane had a baby. This is what it is. I'll turn you around. Yo, check it out, guys. Look at this thing. This thing is a beast. There, we got the delivery driver for scale. So I'm gonna let this driver get this thing all unloaded, but I'm gonna come out here and take a look at it. And then I've got Dan from Liftworks and Sergio. They both came out to make sure that Greg and I are comfortable on the machine and show us around, even though it's very intuitive. I've already watched some videos, but they're gonna take us through, and then we'll get into, you know, my goal for this video is more of an educational thing. So I don't know if I'd call this sponsored, but this is a demo. So we're demoing this machine. God, I would love to own one of these. The main goal is a lot of you guys out there build and rent machinery and do all those sorts of things. And my thought was, dude, this is one of these like things that I don't know. I've never actually used one. So I guarantee there's a lot of you out there that maybe you've never even seen one of these rotating telehandlers out here. And so hopefully for me, you know, maybe this video will just be cool to show you what this machine can do. Maybe you're never gonna need it, never gonna use it, but maybe you will. So one thing I can definitely tell you guys, and you're probably already thinking it, I wonder if there's a way to unhook that beeper. I'm not gonna, because this is a rental and it's obviously unsafe, but that beeper is definitely, oh, you know what? We're not gonna be driving the thing, backing up. I'm not gonna have to worry about that beeper actually. So we just got a new toy, and I call it a toy, but it's not. It's probably gonna be the most epic tool that we've ever had on site. It's a Magni rotator telehandler. If you've never seen one of these, that's why I wanted to do this video. That's why I hooked up with Magni. They just left the salesman Dan from Liftworks. That's the local dealer and rental company that you can get one of these from if you're in the Northern Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, Wisconsin, like this whole region here. You can look these guys up. This machine is actually brand new. It is so new that the plastic is still on the seat. The point of this video is I've always wanted to try one of these rotators since I've been seeing them over on social media. And specifically for us, Greg and I are a two-man crew. There's a lot of times where I'm in the machine operating it and I can't be helping him do whatever the task is. Well, with this machine, I can actually, and we will get to it, it has the function of remote operation, which is gonna allow me to do more work on the job site, which hopefully leads to a more efficient job site. With the capacity that this machine has, it's a 6.35. What that means is 6 metric tons, 35 meter stick. You guys, this thing will go up to 114 feet. It's gonna be more than what we need, but the good thing is it's gonna allow us to not have to drive around with the telehandler. We've never been able to build all of our walls on such a big building and put up the trusses after the fact. We usually have to leave doorways or walls off so we can drive in. There's just a number of things that should be helpful to us that might be helpful to you guys, and that's why I wanted to do this video. So if you're as excited as me, let's go ahead and get into this video. I wanna start building some things. We've got door headers that we're gonna get built and use them as a nice little testing ground, because I don't want to start putting 72-foot wide trusses on a machine that I haven't had any time in. So we're just going to start with that. I can't believe that I'm lifting this from this far away. According to this, I'm in a 3,300 pound zone. I'm in a 2,200 pound zone. Hi, how do I get out, dude? I guess you gotta jump. Is that what that ladder's for? Dude, that's such a reach. Look at that. I was not even halfway capacity. Guys, that is absolutely bonkers to me. I mean, I realize it's not that big of a deal, you know, in the crane world and commercial job sites. But for us here, I mean, not having to drive this thing around, get it all into position, just boom out and pick this thing up from a somewhat centralized location, all the way out here. I still have stick, I can still go out further, and I've only hit about half of the capacity of the weight of this thing. All right, so I was like, of course, I've got to take this thing. Like the first thing you do when you get a boom lift or a stick boom or anything like that, you're gonna go as high as you possibly can. And we started taking this thing up. I'm actually only about halfway through the chart. I've still got a little way back I can go. I don't even know how this is possible. I actually have like a little bit of anxiety right now. I'm at 75 degrees, 75. This is crazy. I can actually see exactly what angle my boom is at. All right, now, according to this chart, I am in a position where I can have 9,900 pounds. Greg, 9,900 pounds, look up there.
That is nuts.
How? I'm not even boomed out. Let's go ahead and boom out. I'm at 92 feet high, 93 feet. Ooh, I can feel it. 97, 98, 99, 100 feet tall. I am almost straight up and down, 81 degrees. That's it for lean back. And now I'm gonna push this thing out. We're at 102 feet. Was that it?
You're still going.
Oh, I was?
Yeah. Yeah, you're still going.
Oh, I'm at 107 feet, 109 feet. We're almost there. 110, 111, 112. Oh my.
That's it.
I think that was it, 113. So they lied to me. This is not, maybe 114.6 is like platform height because I'm off the ground.
Maybe.
What's that look like? I can't even see it. Oh my God, how's that even possible? And at that height, according to the load chart, I can put over did I say 6,000 pounds? 6,600 pounds. So this was the main reason we wanted this machine here, was for capacity. We want to be able to just reach out and touch everything, pick everything up, not be concerned with weight ratings and all that stuff. But it's going to take some getting used to because there's a little bit of movement in the cab. But obviously the cool thing about this machine is there's so many sensors on it. If there's a problem with a sensor, or if you've put yourself in any position that might be jeopardizing your safety, it shuts it off. It doesn't let you do it. So you can feel good about doing it. It's just gonna take a little bit of getting used to it for myself. Yeah, this is absolutely absurd. Look at this thing. Oh, it just keeps getting smaller. And it will, 6,600 pounds right up there.
Imagine being in a basket.
I don't want to.
Oh, no.
Dude, this is legit, man. So I've got this not maxed out in boom stick, but about where we thought probably is the comfortable range for weight. Because if I go out all the way, it can only support 800 pounds. But what's really cool, I mean, the first thing that's really cool is that I can control this from right here with my remote control, right? But even more importantly is that it has these set of lines and it tells you where your load is on the machine for capacity reasons. So right now, we've got 5 green buttons, or bars, I should say, or dots, and we've got 3 out of the 5 filled up. So when we put this extra post on, that just put us into 4 out of the 5. Now we can go to the yellow, but we don't want to. We want to stay in the green. So this is gonna probably push us. Actually, no, we're still in our 4 out of 5. Oh, that is 5 out of 5. Look at this. Do you see it? So now I'm right at, I wouldn't want to put much more weight at all. I could probably go into yellow, but we don't want to do that. So now we can just go ahead and boom this sucker in. And the reason I'm doing this, guys, I don't need to do this. This is for practice, because the whole point of this is I want to be able to use this machine when I'm out on a scissor lift, loading a set of purlins at me or something. So I want to get used to using this machine before I just go ahead and do it in a position that potentially could have safety ramifications, people involved, right? So this, if something were to happen, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but I literally have control of just about every function that I need in order to move this, place it where I want. Dude, that's too cool, isn't it, Greg? Boom. So those are our garage door header columns, or our garage door columns, and I just wanted to bring them from over here where they were stored so that we can get these headers built, get them stood, practice with the Magni a little bit more before our trusses show up here in a couple hours, and we want to start hanging those. Dude, this is so cool. Five bars, but I'm not into yellow. I'm gonna bring it in and then I'm gonna go up over. Now we're off of 5, we're into 4. Now we're into 3, dude. For money. You know, normally after I've set a truss like this and I've gone up here and I've nailed it off, then I gotta go over to the telehandler. I gotta release the pressure so that we can put our temporaries on, release the chains, the straps, the cables, whatever we're using to lift. And now I don't have to. Greg's got his temp over there. You'll see a temp down here on the bottom cord. And I'm just gonna come up here. I'm gonna temp off mine and then we'll be able to release the pressure. Greg, can I give you the peak? All right, so yeah, so now this is nice and snug. And normally I would be like, hey Greg, go down to the telehandler. Drop the telehandler so we can get these straps off. Okay, Kyle, give me a second. Now I don't have to worry about that because I can just sit here and go. Boom. It's so cool. 350,000, Greg? I don't know. It's just money, you know. I think a bank would give me a loan for it, wouldn't they? So the remote control started beeping at me. It was flashing red on the battery. Obviously that says to me that the battery's low. I guess I never heard. I guarantee they told us about the battery, probably told us about everything, and I didn't, get everything in. I didn't sync it all in. But I just came back up in the cab looking for like a charger or a cord, and look at that. There's another battery. All we got to do, pull the other battery out. This battery slides in, and then we're just gonna put this battery in there. And boom, look at that. The light just turned on that says charged. Boom, the remote control is back ready to go. And I'm assuming by time this one in a couple days needs to be pulled out, this one will be fully charged. So, awesome. So, I mean, instead of being way out there in that cab where I can't see exactly where I'm at, how much further I need to go side to side, or having to listen to somebody yell at me where it should be or give me a hand sign, This really is like the ultimate. The control is just like, really is effortless. Let's just go out here, we'll go all the way around and then we can always spin it. I'm gonna start moving out so you can put that tip, so you stay out there. So yeah, you stay out there and let that tip come through. Make sure we're good here. Yeah, you're good, Greg? You can't pull the outriggers up if the boom is too steep. It won't let you do it. Good. All right, guys, it's the last truss, the last real, I guess, need for the magnet. We might be able to use it for some other stuff, but it is what it is. This has been really fun, and this is probably the most versatile, amazing piece of machinery I've ever ran. And not that I've run like everything, but that doesn't negate the fact that it is the most badass piece of machinery I've ever used. Let's go ahead and set this. Just like that. So what makes this machine special is that it's basically a mobile crane. I'm not a crane operator, but it operates similar in fashion. So right here, you're gonna see this right here, this rotating component, like this is huge. You've got this huge mobile base and then the rotator right there. So if you look, there's nothing else connected to this base except for right here. So the boom, the cab, that is all, I mean, look how compact this thing is. If you step back and you look at this boom, it seems like a big machine, but when you think about the capacities and what it's able to do, it's a really small footprint. This thing is smart enough to understand not only where you're positioned, if you're out of tilt, how much weight you have. It's got sensors everywhere that won't allow you to work unsafe, right? So one of the other cool things right here is when we come up to the attachment, there is an RFID when you attach to a Magni attachment, automatically inside the cab, it's gonna say, hey, did you just attach to this attachment? You say yes, and it's going to give you the specific load chart so that you have to operate safely. So as I turn on the machine, you'll notice this right here, J2000, that is actually the machine saying, hey, are you hooked up to this jib right here? That's J2000, and I'm gonna say yes. And because I'm hooked up to that, it gives me, look at that, that is the jib right there, and this is the specific load chart for that attachment. This is the remote control, and this is what allows me to operate this machine safely and effectively, efficiently, without being in the cab. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this thing on. You can see here we got this flashing light. We're on. We're gonna switch it over to remote control. I'm gonna hold this start button. And now that's me controlling where this thing goes. And I have all the function that I normally would to control this boom from in the cab right here at my fingertips. And check this out. You can see right here we've got a green light on number 1. Let's go ahead and turn that RPM back down. As I apply load, or as I reach out to further distances, this green light is gonna work its way down to the yellow, to the orange, and hopefully not the red, because that's the no-go zone. But as long as you know that you've still got green lights and you haven't hit that yellow or orange, you can feel safe. And that's like the best thing for me, because if you operate a machine like a telehandler, you've got a large load, and the thing is gonna have boom movement, it's gonna have sway, and this does too. It's unnerving sometimes. It can get you a little bit scared, maybe even, which is a good thing, but doesn't mean that you're doing anything unsafe. This is gonna tell you if you're doing anything unsafe, but when you're standing out here and you're just controlling this thing and you're moving around and you've got a big load and you look down and you've only got 3 of the 5 green bars lit up, you don't feel unsafe at all. You just can be out here working effectively. You know, Greg and I are just a 2-man team, but by having the remote control, by allowing me to be in a position to see what was going on safely, not relying on the communication between Greg and I, which is what we've always done and it's worked well, it made it a lot easier. We were able to move those trusses in and out very smoothly, very efficiently, and very safely also. So this machine is, you're probably wondering, how much is this machine? This one is way more than I would probably ever need. Obviously I want it because it's, you know, it's amazing, but it's in the 300s, right? So they make tons of different machines, ones with similar weight capacity but smaller sticks. That's kind of what I would like to do. I would like to get something, because I think there's a huge benefit to having the remote function, to having the rotational function, to be able to set an outrigger down and just get all sorts of capacity, both on weight and reach. There's a ton of different attachments that I've seen guys with tree attachments. I've seen clamping attachments. It's just really one of these machines that I think if you're doing any sort of production framing, if you've got crews out there, if you're building a lot of houses, if you're setting walls that you're building on the ground because it's efficient, or entire roof systems, we all know what cranes cost every day. And whenever you get a crane on site, everybody starts working their butt off trying to get done because you don't want to pay more than you need to have that crane there. This is something that allows you to have it on the site, to operate it yourself. It's super intuitive to use. I mean, literally day one, we were running this thing from this remote, no big deal. But it's gonna allow you to work, I think, a lot more calmly, a lot more efficiently, without being rushed every time that big lift is getting ready to get put up. If that makes sense. If you've been in that moment, you would know. I hate when I had to get a crane on site and the pressure, you know, it's like when concrete trucks show up, everybody's, you know, working hard. Magni, thank you so much. Liftworks, thank you so much for bringing this out. Let me demo it. I know there's a lot of people in my audience that would benefit from having a rotator on their job site. So that was my big push, is I wanted to make a video. I wanted to show you guys some of the capabilities. The only things negative that I can see with this thing, I've been thinking about it, because it's like you can't talk about a machine or a tool. The only things that I could think about was that when the boom arm is all the way down, the view is not the best to your right side. So that's where the cameras come into play, so you can see what's going on. The cost, obviously, that's a lot of money, but there's a ton of technology and safety built into this thing, and that's what you're ultimately paying for. Plus, you're getting the benefit of all the efficiency that comes with a machine like this on site. And the only other negative thing was when this thing is rotated over. Let's just show you that. This is the other negative that I'm just really reaching right now for negatives. Yeah, this is not the easiest thing to get up and out of. They do give you a ladder back here, so you can take that ladder down and it's gonna hook right here, so you can get in and out. I ain't got time for that, so I just, you know, you've got a remote right here, so you just kind of turn this sucker on, rotate it back to your steps, and you can get in and out of it. The good thing is, or bad thing, our delivery driver. He showed up this morning and I hadn't really made this video yet. So he's here to pick this thing up. So I'm gonna have to let this thing go. Greg said it was becoming a little bit of an obsession of mine. I love this thing. It didn't matter what was on site. If there was something that needed to get picked up, and I was like, well, the Magni's only 90 feet away. We can just boom out and pick it up. Like we tried to do that. If you guys got any questions about this machine, drop them down below. I hope to get one of these on site for the next big build. This wouldn't make sense for like a 30 by 60 or something, but anytime you're doing something large, I think you're gonna see a big cost savings and return on your investment by having something. Maybe just rent one, give it a try. Let me know what you think about this machine. Is it something that you would try? Put that down below in the comments. And I need to get back to work and I need to let them take this to the next customer because this is not mine. This was a demo. Thank you again, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.